Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Marsh coming at you over the interwaves with another StarCraft 2 cast sent in by the people of Reddit's Castit. If you would like to have your games cast by a member of the community such as myself or any of the other casters that roam the internet, you can submit it there, upload your replay to GG Tracker or some other replay site, and then send the link there, and maybe I or somebody actually talented will get around to casting your game for you. In the meantime, we have over here in the top right corner playing purple, which is a nice color for once. It's Boshie. On the other side, top left corner, we have the orange Terran, Tinysnowmen. So this is not a ladder game, otherwise it would be red and blue. These two either know each other or, you know, decided to make a custom game based on another reason. So that might create some different dynamic than I usually cast, which is interesting. We have hatchery first for Tinysnowmen, but for Boshie, sorry, but the only thing that Tinysnowmen is doing is getting a barracks and an orbital command before starting his second command center on location, which is a little bit of a ballsy move, I suppose. But if these two do know each other, that may mean that he's familiar with Boshie's stratagems of not 14-14ing. If there's something wrong with the sound, by the way, this is an older version of the StarCraft 2. It's updated just before I recorded this, meaning that every replay I will cast is actually an old thing, which means I do not have my normal interface, and it also means that things like sound and like preferences have reset. Luckily, like mouse sensitivity does not. There goes a Reaper while I'm busy chatting away to slow lings of all things. Oh, that's not very nice. And Boshie's sending out his Zerglings because he still doesn't know where his opponent spawned, whereas Tinysnowmen of course does know, and he's got one Marine there in order to prevent that Zergling from seeing anything other than just this little bit. And the command center on the low ground pays off, as no Zerglings came by to kill that SCV, and he has in fact completed it, and it can now safely mine. With Boshie not moving out but taking the third instead, this should not present many problems. Does have the bunker up for just in case there is any shenanigans, and Boshie keeps watch on his opponent with a Zergling right in front of his door. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do. Tinysnowmen, which is confusing, referring to one person as snowmen. It's a plural. So there's one person called snowmen, plural. That might not bug the rest of you, but it's curious to me. Anyway, puts his factory in such a place that he could maybe, possibly, foreseeably build a siege tank. Nope. Nope, does not build a siege tank, and gets a reactor on his starport in order to maybe pump out medevacs, maybe go instead for those liberators. Boshie's third gets up without any sort of serious problems, and we have the first attempt at maybe get some upgrades for Tiny Boshie, as there are in fact no evolution chambers for Boshie out on the field. Does get a few roaches just in case. Balls. just in case his opponent decides to do anything cheeky. Well, and that it seems to be what's the modern equivalent of No Rush 20? Is it No Rush 5? I mean, if we look at the yeah, that doesn't work in this interface. The Terran has lost his Reaper, and the Zerg has lost whatever 149 minerals is. We've got the Zerg continuing to drone up and getting quite nice vision, I must say. It's got an Overlord here for any drops. We've got an Overlord here, which is going to get sniped by the first Marines that walk by. We've got the Zergling right here to you know, see whatever moves out directly in front of his base. There's a small pathway here where a drop could theoretically fly through. Oh, and he sends in his Overlord and sees that third command center being built, and that evolution chamber not really doing anything. So that means with 1-1 on the way, that the Zerg does in fact have the advantage in upgrades, or will have the advantage in upgrades, and the Terran does now know so and starts his own upgrade while that is happening. Oh, and Overlord Speed just finished in time there in order to fly away from these two Marines. Yeah, it would appear he's going to live. 32 hit points and nothing down, well, enough down here to kill him if he would so choose, but he doesn't, allowing very graciously to let this Overlord fly away. Alright, so what are we looking at? We've got a bigger, slightly bigger army for the turn, but this is, what are you? Ah, he did send one Marine down there in order to try and kill it, but did not manage to do so. Good setup for the Zerg. You want to drone up as much as possible and, for instance, have a Zergling here, and then as soon as you see your opponent move out, just build units and catch up on that army supply. Boshie is now in fact ahead. Thank you. You can go away now. Thank you. With quite a few Ravagers to take out any, well, anything stupid enough to stay in its path of the corrosive vial, I suppose. Two Vikings going out for some Overlord hunting, which he managed to just completely miss. Oh, and Boshie expanding towards his opponent. That is not something you usually see against Terran. Oh, and not being sieged up. Oh, he could have gotten quite a few free shots there, and now still will, because Boshie is nice enough to move back into siege tank range. Yep. So losing a tank there, but at the meantime Boshie also loses stuff. Moving into a siege line, never really a good feeling. And Boshie does actually not see his third having been taken. That is unfortunate. He will as soon as the first SCV goes to this mineral patch, but for now he does not see. Ah, he sees that one. Yes. So if Boshie is paying attention, he would know now. Oh, and moves his army right into the Terran army. In range to rain the corrosive foul down on the tanks and crushes that. All the tanks are gone, all the Marines are gone. What does he have left? He has not a lot left. He is nice enough to fight on top of these mines. No, he took out the mines with the Overseer, having seen them, and moves right into his opponent's natural base with just 3 Marines in a bunker to protect it. And a few more Marines dropping by for the fun. And oh, one shot by the tank before it gets brutally, horribly murdered. And the natural base is down. Boshie Very confident, very much ahead in the army supply. Moves to the completely unprotected thirds, massacring the SCVs there while he moves in 2 Marines and a Marauder to defend. And there goes the 3rd base as well. So we've got a 4 base Zerg versus a 1 base Terran. Well, this will be quite an exciting match from here on in, I imagine. All Boshie now has to do is move in, not move into his own corrosive bow. That would be good. Get up the ramp, which he now has done. He's on top of the production. That means that any Marines coming out now, of which there are 4 and 2 Marauders, will spawn directly into his opponent's army. And GG.